Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. This is my new Premier League predictions. I've seen a lot of people doing this. It's a new thing and I'm going to do it. So who I think is going to win the league, get top 4, get top 6, get relegated. We're going to assess it. And I think this is a good idea, because when we do these Premier League predictions before a ball's even been kicked, you have no evidence. You're just going on a hunch. So to look at it halfway through a season, which is what we technically are, and reassess it, I'm not, I'll still react to my Premier League predictions at the end of the season based on what I did before the season. But would I make any changes now? And as I said, at the start of the season, I would have predicted Man City win the league. I think my top 4 was Chelsea, Liverpool, and I was struggling for 4th place. I can't remember whether I said Arsenal. I don't think I put United in there. I think I had United and Spurs 5th and 6th, so Newcastle have broken up that party. Do I think that will continue? And relegation, I had the newly promoted teams, Forest, Bournemouth and Fulham, which looks really bad when Fulham are 7th in the league and clearly not going to get relegated. I know I've got top goal scorer, right? I predicted Haaland. I think we all did that. So look, am I going to make any changes, I suppose? I'm going to start off with Premier League winner prediction. I did go with Man City. Now, I'm going to be very, very careful here because Spider-Man projects webs from his wrist. Iron Man, I've picked somebody, I don't know what they do. What does Iron Man do? Does he make like cutlery or something? Iceman makes ice. Batman just talks funny. But Goldbridge man or Pratt man does have jinx powers. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm famous for it on a Saturday afternoon saying something and then the opposite happens. And if I say Arsenal are going to win the league, I don't want to have any responsibility for them bottling it. What I would say is Arsenal should win the league. They're remarkable. They're incredible. They're doing fantastic. They deserve all the credit and all the words of positivity. They've done a great, great job. And they should win. And I think their January transfer window has gone well. Whereas I think Man City came out of the transfer window weaker than when they went into it with Cancelo leaving. So everything suggests that Arsenal should win this Premier League title. But should doesn't mean will. I look at that league table, game in hand, 5 points, and you think Arsenal should do it. But we are still only just halfway through the league. Arsenal have played 19 games, which is halfway through the league. That could be quite scary for an Arsenal fan to think about. And they've got to play Man City twice. At this juncture, I do not want to jinx Arsenal. I would rather Arsenal win the league than Man City as well. So I'm not going to predict Arsenal are going to win the league. I'm still going to stick with my pre-season prediction that Man City will do it. And I'm going to base that on, I don't want to jinx Arsenal. I'm going to base it on the fact that City do have the know-how to go and win game after game after game. But what I would say in encouragement of Arsenal is you should win it. I believe, and I've said this for a couple of weeks, you've got one hand on the trophy. And I also don't feel that Man City are the same team at the moment. So it's still very much in Arsenal's hands, but I will stick with City for now because, they've got the know-how, haven't they? Second place will obviously be Arsenal or Man City. I don't see anybody infiltrating that. It would be a huge collapse for Arsenal not to finish in the top 2. And as bad as Man City can be, and well, not bad, as unlike Man City can be at times this season, I don't see them not coming in the top 2. So they're going to be in the top 2. Now, top 4, I did have Liverpool and Chelsea in there, and I didn't have Newcastle in there. Look, Man United and Newcastle are a bit like Arsenal. They should get top 4, especially Newcastle. They're playing one game a week. They're not in Europe. They're out of the cups, really, aren't they? Apart from the Carabao Cup, which is basically the final now anyway. So they don't have the FA Cup. They don't have Europe. They've got the Premier League and a Carabao Cup final to focus on. If Newcastle could win the Carabao Cup, which I hope they don't, obviously, and get top 4, that would be a dream season for them in their progress as the richest club in the world. And they'll have done it without really being the richest club in the world, because whilst they have spent money, they've not really gone crazy yet. So Newcastle are on the crest of a wave. They're doing fantastically well. Eddie Howe's doing a great job. Their players are responding. The fans must be loving it. Newcastle have just got to do what I was saying about United the other day. For every 3 Premier League games, make sure you win 2 of them. You can even lose the third one, but just keep going win, win, lose, win, win, lose, win, win, lose, and you will keep the gap on those behind you. So Newcastle have just got to do that. Defensively, they can do that. They've got to find the goals. They've got to score more goals. They were doing it at the start of the season. I don't. It's going to take something superhuman from Chelsea and Liverpool to infiltrate the top 4. I don't think Fulham, Brentford or Brighton can do it. Liverpool are capable of going win, 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 but they're just showing no hint of doing that. Chelsea have got very, very good players and could do it. They could dominate the league for the, they could be the form team of the second half of the season. But I just don't know. And obviously with Manchester United, we are a really good side. Our issue is playing a game every 3.5 days for the next 4 months. And we've already lost players for injury. So it's, United need a bit of luck around injuries and fatigue. Newcastle just need to keep the momentum going, and Liverpool or Chelsea need to go on an amazing run. Who am I putting in the top 4? Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, and you know what? I'm gonna go United for the first time. I'm gonna put United in there. No, I'm not putting United in there. I'm for the same reason Arsenal. I'm gonna still say I think Liverpool might get top 4. I'm still going to put United outside the top 4 because I don't want to jinx it. Logically, I think United should get top 4. Logically, I think Arsenal should win the league, but I'm not going to change what I said before the start of the season. I'm going to keep Man City winning the league and Liverpool in the top 4 because I do not want to jinx Man United or Arsenal. In relation to the top 6, obviously, I do think Chelsea and Liverpool will get into that top 6 mix as well. With United, so I see Brentford, Brighton and Fulham dropping away, and the top 6 will be the Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man United 6. I think Spurs will drop to 7th. I do. And look, I wish Conte all the best. I know he's had a serious operation that's going to keep him out for a bit, but this has got nothing to do with that. I just think Spurs will fall away. But being Spurs, they might find some consistency. You never know. But I think Spurs will finish 7th. In relation to relegation, well, relegation, let's have a look at the bottom 10 here. In relation to relegation, what have we got? We got Bournemouth, Everton and Southampton. So I went with Fulham, Bournemouth and Forest. I think Fulham are safe. I think Forest are starting to pull away as well. They don't concede many, Forest. So I think Leicester, I'd be worried. They don't seem to be able to buy a win at the moment. Leeds should get out of it, but you're down there at the moment. West Ham will get out of it. Wolves, I feel that I've got to find. Everton with Deitch now. I think they'll find a way. I think Southampton are gone. Bournemouth are gone for definite. I think Bournemouth are definitely going down. So Bournemouth and Southampton are down for me. And take your pick. I've got to take a pick, haven't I? I think Everton could go down even with Deitch. They've got 2 very hard games coming up against Everton. And not against themselves. They probably couldn't even beat themselves. They've got Arsenal and Liverpool as their next 2 games, so they could face 2 losses there. Which, if teams win around you, you start to get cut adrift. So I wouldn't rule Everton out. Wolves are a weird team. I can't understand why Wolves are not winning, even with the new manager. West Ham will be fine. I think Leeds will be fine. I can't see Palace, Villa, no chance. I think Forest will pull away. So really, it's Leicester, Everton or Wolves for me, which will be a shock. I worry about Leicester for some reason. I'm going to put Leicester down. Everton, I think, will survive. It's Everton or Leicester for me, and I think Leicester. I'm going to go Bournemouth, Southampton, Leicester. I worry about Leicester. The thing about Leicester is they're capable, like at the start of the season and now, of going on a really bad run. And they've done it twice this season. I know they had a good run before the World Cup, but they are just capable of going on a bad run. And when you're in a season where you mentally know you're capable of not winning a game for 4 or 5, that can be really bad. So yeah, I'm going to go Leicester. It could be Everton, but I'm going to go Leicester with that. So there you go. Get your comments in below. What are your thoughts? Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. We've got Everton Arsenal as our watch along on the channel on Saturday lunchtime, by the way. So get ready for that. And yeah, what are your thoughts on your new Premier League predictions? Have you made any changes like me? I'm going to stick with Man City. I'm going to stick with Liverpool in the top 4, even though logically it doesn't make any sense. I don't want to jinx it, but my relegation picks have got to change. Fulham are going to stay up. I think Forest will stay up now as well. I'm going to go Southampton, Bournemouth and Leicester. Get your comments in below. Speak to you in a bit.